Okay, we're back live inside theCUBE at SiliconANGLE.tv, exclusive coverage of the HBase conference. This is the first conference ever that the HBase community is putting on as part of Hadoop, and I'm here with Norbert Berger from TBS.
Turner Broadcasting.
Turner Broadcasting, TBS, Turner.
Yeah.
You guys have been doing a lot of big data, I've noticed, and a really high-tech organization. I've bumped into some of your cohorts over the years at events, intimate dinners and conversations. So you're very active in the community as a company. You're here at the HBase conference. Tell us, one, why you're here, and what do you think of the conference?
Well, so we at Turner have been using HBase and Hadoop for about a year and a half now. We've got a cluster running actually in production that we're using to analyze video operational data, so metrics about video playback sessions on our websites. I'm here, I think, because number one, I think the conferences seem like a very targeted, very effective way to reach a lot of the folks in the community, and also because I think at this level there are a lot of open questions about how HBase will mature as a platform, how it'll scale, and I think this is a great place to learn about it and to hear from other people.
What's your role there?
So I'm a principal architect at Turner, and that means that I am responsible for kind of choosing the technologies that we use at Turner for answering some of these big data questions, mentoring other folks in our team, making sure that we're making the right decisions on a technical basis, and specifically a principal architect in our video team. We deal with both the front end and the back end of video playback. And what we're using HBase for is to track video player sessions across all of our partner websites, and then to understand important metrics from those sessions, what kind of performance people are seeing from video playback, what kind of errors they're seeing, what kind of results they have, what their sequence is, essentially the clickstream of data for video. On each of our websites. So
yeah, and HBase is a good fit for that. Obviously, we were just talking before we came on, some of the things that we're doing and media companies. And it seems that all media companies in general have woken up recently to big data.
Right.
Go back and tell us about Turner. You guys have always been kind of cutting edge, but when did you guys realize, hey, we got to actually think about using this big data to really, when did it hit the radar for you guys that this has got to be real priority?
I think when you think about the number of sessions that the scale of the sessions that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, we have within Turner a kind of a core consulting group, and that's responsible for making technical decisions for each of the properties, not just one property. And when you centralize those technical decisions, and you realize the number of visits that we have to all of our websites, the choice of big data becomes pretty clear. It's also, I feel that in this day and age, if you have any kind of presence on the net, you're going to get kind of pulled into this big data field, whether you like it or not. Just because of the scale of the internet and essentially the reach of the internet. I mean, it's not that any kind of reasonable website today is going to get the kind of numbers that really make a big data decision. Fairly evident. It's not.
Well, also we were talking to a lot of folks here inside the Cube, which is great. I love the Cube because not only do we get to share the knowledge with you folks out there, but I had the pleasure of interviewing really a lot of the brightest minds here, certainly in this vertical it's growing, and that is personalization. So one of the things that's interesting is that the notion of recommendations engine, we talked with Christoph at WeBe Data and others, is that now you have the ability to provide some personalization. Right. So you guys have a huge audience. Right. So you have a big audience. So narrowing it down and giving someone a really good experience on their interest is probably something on your mind, right?
It is, certainly. At the moment we're focused on kind of operational performance of video playback sessions, but certainly questions about business intelligence, questions about recommendations, that's not too far off. That's not that.
So first your goal is get into production.
Right. Get it in production, understanding again what kind of experience people are having on our websites and making sure that we're the video player sessions, that there aren't issues with video playback sessions. Then from there, kind of that second order of analysis of understanding trending, understanding recommendations, that's kind of the next phase for us.
Let me see what the questions are from the Twitter sphere here. So one question while I look this up is, what are you guys seeing in terms of like developers, kinds of programmers you guys are hiring at Turner?
Mm-hmm. So our stack actually, from a technology point of view, we're using some of the major components that are being tossed around here. Certainly Hadoop and HBase. We're using a pig for analysis purposes. We happen to be my group is actually using Python primarily, so we're mostly a Python shop, but certainly Java is a big technology here at Hadoop and HBase, given that the core components are written in Java. So both of those are kind of interesting technologies that we're looking to hire more folks with experience in Python, Java, and certainly some of the.
How about your operations organization? Are you guys spread out now? Are you guys mostly in Atlanta?
Operations are certainly centralized in Atlanta, but we have data centers throughout the U.S.
Engineering centers?
Engineering centers, yeah.
As well?
Yeah, so we're building actually, we're expanding to the other parts of the U.S., but centralized right now in Atlanta. So we are, again, focusing on understanding video playback, performance problems, errors that people are having with video sessions on our websites.
Tell us what's the most provocative conversations and sessions you've heard here at HBase. What are some things that wow, that's something I'm going to have to think about. Really compelling.
I think some of the session, I just came back from a session from Ian from Salesforce. He gave a great talk on schema design. I think that's a really interesting topic that is not well understood by many members of the community. I also feel like some of the talks earlier, I think Cosmin gave a great talk from Adobe about how they're using HBase for OLAP style queries. That's really digs deep into some of the best practices of HBase. How you design row keys, how you design column families, how you handle things like nested entities. Those are all, I think, really important concepts that really don't have a great kind of rules of thumb yet. And slowly through conferences like this, I think we're getting to the point where those become a common language, and we're going to be able to kind of take HBase to the next level.
So a question from online here I'm reading is, what are you guys developing that's new, that's different from what you get on cable, and mainly around analytics? Mm-hmm. Obviously analytics in the media business has always been kind of like a crapshoot, right. Gross rating points, but now with set-top boxes you have some instrumentation. So the question is, what's the metrics look like for an audience instrumentation like for you guys?
So there's certainly a trend in our industry moving from broadcast to online. And that's the direction that everybody's realizing. More and more folks are moving online. Certainly Turner has realized this. We have an effort we call TV Everywhere, which even some of the companies that you see here are involved in. And it's basically an effort to standardize the video playback experience for both online and broadband, and make sure that a paying cable subscriber has access to content digitally. The metrics, I think, are very different, but they're going to become standardized eventually. I mean, within the next few years, I think you'll start to see some standardization in terms of how people tag sessions in cable, and how they tag sessions online, and how they come together, and how you represent the same thing. I think that still they're very different. They're not quite the same.
Who's deciding that? I mean, is it standards body? Is it more?
I think it's really. I think you'll see some of the companies like Nielsen and Omniture probably get together and make some official kind of currency definitions on what it means to have a session in cable and what it means to have a session digitally. So it is certainly something that I think everybody's interested in, but there's not one clear answer yet on it.
Norbert Berger with Turner Broadcasting. Final question: share with the folks your agenda for the next year or two. I mean, as you go forward, move past video. How are you going to be using HBase and big data for your architecture?
Right. So I think HBase as a technology is certainly growing. I mean, I've been telling everybody I meet here today that this conference today reminds me of what Hadoop World was like in 2009. I remember going to that in New York and seeing a conference about this size, about 200-300 people. And then if you look at Hadoop World today, it's just amazing. I mean, it's grown to thousands of people. I truly feel that HBase is going to grow like that. I mean, I just think that it's just the beginning of the technology. And once we get through some of these technical hurdles, understanding how to deploy HBase and understanding how to host HBase in production, there's no limit to where HBase will grow.
Okay, there's no limit to where HBase will grow. It's going to be a massive industry boom here. Obviously, we're big supporters of it. We endorse it. I personally think HBase is one of those moments where it's all going to kind of come together. and the ecosystem's just about to begin. So appreciate your comments. This is SiliconANGLE.tv's coverage of theCUBE here at HBase Conference in San Francisco. We'll be right back with our next guest after this break.